Did you know that there was a decade that laid the foundation for modern American culture? A time when jazz melodies resonated everywhere. The film world was reaching new heights, and women were exploring new avenues of social freedom. It was a time that the world still remembers as the Roaring Twenties. The end of World War I brought America to a unique position. Europe was going through the devastation of war, but America was growing economically strong. These changes began to be reflected in the dreams and lifestyle of the American people. This era is sometimes called the Jazz Age, because the music and culture established the identity of this era. Jazz broke old values and forced a new generation to swing with its melodies. Louis Armstrong holds a prominent place among the great names of jazz music. His melodies and voice were not just music, but represented a revolution. Jazz broke down racial barriers and gave birth to a new shared culture. Along with music, the Hollywood film industry was also developing. Silent films were gaining popularity, and movie stars had become the heartbeat of the public. This era was the beginning of the rise of film culture. The role of women changed the most during this era. Women known as flappers wore short dresses, cut their hair short, and declared their independence. It was not just a fashion statement, but a social message. Flappers told the world that women could also live their lives as they wished. Their dancing, their laughter, and their fearlessness were signs that a great change had come to American society. But the story of this era was not limited to happiness. In 1920, alcohol was banned, which is called the Prohibition era. The government thought that this would improve society, but the reality turned out to be exactly the opposite. Alcohol prohibition promoted secret bars, speakeasies, and the mafia. Criminals like Al Capone emerged, and the liquor business became an illegal but profitable business. Nightlife took on a different color during this period. People would secretly go to bars, listen to music, and party. Thus, prohibition further increased social freedom. The economy was also an important aspect of this decade. America was rapidly moving towards industrial development. There was huge investment in the stock market, and everyone felt that prosperity would last forever. People were investing blindly in stocks. This was a time when even an ordinary American felt that he could become rich. But all this was leading to a major crisis. In 1929, the stock market crashed and the Great Depression began. The dream of prosperity turned into a nightmare. Millions of people became unemployed and the economy collapsed. According to historians, the Roaring Twenties were a period full of contradictions. On one side was freedom, art, and prosperity, while on the other side was crime, economic bubbles, and injustice. Some historians say that this was the era of America's modern identity. Women's rights, the development of the arts, and cultural revolutions laid the foundation for the time to come. But according to some, all this did not last long. It was just a temporary prosperity that soon sank into economic crisis. Therefore, this decade is also considered a harbinger of disaster. Even today, we can see the effects of the Roaring Twenties. The same liberalism that began during this era is reflected in the fashion world, the music industry, and film culture. Jazz melodies, the glamour of Hollywood, and the social freedom of women are still considered the foundation of American society today. This decade truly created a new America. But the question is, are we standing on the verge of a new Roaring Twenties today? Are our technology, fashion, and economy reminding us of the same lessons? Perhaps history is repeating itself once again. Now it is up to us to decide whether we learn from this decade or repeat the same mistakes. So what do you think is the biggest similarity between today's era and the 1920s? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments.